Good afternoon, guys. It's 4:36 p.m. Today is the first day of the month, December month, and we had a good sell-off today. So let's go into the pre-market notes. So month end is over. ES, Dow, and Russell had a red November month. Remember, red November month, and NQ had a green month, right? So either these three is going to drive the market down, or NQ will drive the market up. But it's the first day of the month. Remember, yesterday I said we have to wait till next day, which is first day of the month, right? And then we may have some clue, right? So today is the first day of the month, so it is also important from price action perspective. And then on Friday we have a non-farm payroll, so by end of this week price will set another directional course, right, from certain levels, which I will give you in the closing remark and in Discord. So ES consider 44.80 to 46.99 as the range in ES for now, right? So this, I did not type this thing today, right? I typed this thing yesterday in Discord, right? So when price was higher actually yesterday, right? But still I typed 44.80, a particular number, as the bottom of the range, right? Price was above 100 points above that area. But I had intuitions, or I would say I had a doubt on that upward price action, So just to be on the safer side, I gave that entire range. Same thing I gave it in NQ. See, NQ was way above this area, 620, right? But now today it came down to 860, right? While yesterday it closed around 16400 or 300, so correct. So but still I gave this much room, 600 point lower for the range bound because of my expectation. So now these are the range for NQ and ES you have to keep in mind. Below both ranges, below this and this, we are looking for more sell-off, but I'll let you know in Discord and closing remark how to look for the signs, but anyway, so today favor both sides, right, ideally, and our bias was neutral, which we discussed in pre-market voice in Discord, right? And we also discussed specific pattern to look for in RTH, right, based on the overnight price action. And then we have to see a follow through on that pattern, whether that become the permanent pattern or only for today, So you already know, right? We already discussed in Discord. So today above 45, 87 and 96 try to favor buyers, and short only on a great exhaustion, upward exhaustion into resistance with other indexes lining up, then you short. Or if price goes below this area, then you are set for shorting. Okay, so remember 87, 96. Okay, and for NQ 319 and 237 above that area favor long, that is what pre-market discussion, right? And in real time I ask you to observe 376, 366 area as a resistance, right? And then when price went above it, NQ has to hold above that area. If it goes below it, that's where the first sell-off will start, or sellers will try to step in from there. And then going below this level, more sellers will come. That's how you have to view it. Look, NQ came right here, bold support, right? After breaking this, it had a bounce from 960, right? The real-time level which I gave you in Discord. 960 back to this area, and then sell off from there back to here, right? So overnight it is very important you observe this level. All these levels are very important for the overnight today. So all the way from this, all these levels are important, and these levels will be in play for next 2 days. Russell all the way down up to 2147. So now I have to come up with a new levels. Okay, but this could be a good stopping point for now. At least overnight, if it holds it here, it can go back to at least 70, or 91 area. Dow I did not look into it today, so I'm not gonna discuss. Gold I did not look into it. crude had a nice sell-off. I think crude is the one which triggered the sell-off in equities, or vice versa, but I think crude was the point. I think it's because of the crude equity got sell-off, but I still yet have to find out the reason, but I think it's a crude. So crude is now back below 65, and this is the key area which it held it today, right? And the sell-off started from 40 area and went all the way down to one of this area, right? So crude has a good sell-off, so even when it went below 67, I shorted it, lifeline, right? So when it went below, when it got rejection from here, I was not watching crude, but I had alert set at 67. The moment it went below 67, I shorted it, and then I targeted 66.25 or so, which is this area, 25. So that being said, so let's go. Remember 86, 87, 96, right? 319, 237. Okay, so 237, right? And then 319, which is this level, right? These two red lines. Sorry, let me change it. Correct? Above favor buyers, correct? That was going into pre-market. So I'm going to cover NQ first, right? So price open, right, somewhere around here, right around 319. Okay, so then it went down, right? Then it went up to 365, 376. That was the area we were going to observe it based on the pre-market, right? What we discussed in Discord and during live. So it got a rejection from here, right? And then it went down, correct? But ES was consistently holding it. Remember we discussed in Discord 45.10. That was the real-time level I gave you, and I said instead of 25.20, today assume above 45.10 buyers, below 45.10 sellers. Okay, and then these are the key levels that they have to hold it if price comes down there, right? But coming down, how it comes down is important, right? So from here, if it comes down here, you buy. Otherwise you buy above 45.10. So that will bring this first long in ES right here. Intervals were super bullish, momentum was holding above zero line, right? So this long you can take it above 45.10. That was also lining up right around this VWAPs. So you can take a long here. The way you take it is not at the first test, right? Since it's opening, you wait. When price goes higher, came back, touch 45.10, bounce it, right? That's where you go long. So that's why it's a different arrow. It's not an ideal setup. You just have to find the setup, right? Because when price came down here, this guy was holding nicely. AD was holding nicely, right? So NQ was also holding. So that was the long, right? Then NQ was holding 300 area pretty much. That was the 290 or 300. Then you hold your ES, right? When it went higher, like this, right? Remember we discussed also in pre-market. If there is a breakout here, you take it. You look for longs, right? So instead of breakout, what happened here is price had a breakdown below this 14 area. See here, balance, breakdown, right? But breakdown happened with the strong internals, say. So chances are, and it was protected by this VWAP and 45.10, right? So you just have to watch. The moment you see price going higher and pull back, you go long right at 45.10, right at this VWAP also, right? That was our area too, right? Not because of the VWAP, but it was the area given in Discord. So now you go long. See, you don't have to wait for a breakout now, because by the time you wait for a breakout, it's too late, right? So location is the key. So you go long, right? And then you manage it, right? There is no sign for sell-off like this earlier on, right? So you still hold your longs actually. When it pulled back here, right? NQ was pulling back to the morning low, right? With good internals, first time dip, so exhaustion. People are going to buy it because of this price action, right? And it was right here at VWAP and mid, so you buy. If you want to buy it, you can buy it right here. lining up with NQ, right, and go long, or you just let it go, and hold your this long, right. Then it went higher, 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 higher. The moment it broke out above first hour high, right, here you can add more if you want to, see, and then you just hold on to ES, and then it went to 46.50 while NQ went above Globex high 404.03 or so, right. Now the question is, since it's super bullish by this time, if you look at up to this point, it was super bullish, right. So you do not want price to go down, balance and go down at that point. You want price to hold higher and higher, right. That means worst case scenario, now since it broke above yesterday's high, you want price to stay above yesterday's high. Simple. It broke above Globex high, you want price to stay above Globex high, because look at the amount of buyers and their willingness to buy at higher price with strong internals, right. So you do not want price to pull back a lot. At least hold above yesterday's high after breaking out. So you move your stop up and still hold the position. Here also you move your stop up to 403, and then hold it. So here you got stopped out, here you got stopped out, right, on your longs. Now you have to think, man, why the hell should I get stopped out? Now look at the momentum here. See, it's a switch here below zero. Up to this point it just dipped and went higher. Here it was holding, see that, while it was trying to hold 41. That was your first sign something is off, right. Then price went down, right, straight into 26 area, which is this. Again, those VWAP buyers, they bought it up, right. Now you are not looking for long, you already tried it here and here, right. So now you are looking at something off situation, which is this. NQ you can buy because NQ ping pong, right. So NQ 376, 365 was the key level of the open. So when it went higher, push, pull back, this was your long. But now you can't hope for more. It's a reactionary long. So in Discord, if you are monitoring Discord, I clearly said that 403, 407, either bail out, scale, or bail out, and I bailed out completely. So I went long here, bailed out here, Then price went higher, right, here. So when I bailed out here, it was Globex high, right, broken Globex high. It's a failed breakout of Globex high, right. So but that is not the reason to short here, okay. So you hold it here, there is no reason to short here. So actually I gave you the arrow, this is the wrong arrow, that was not a short, or I would say different arrow actually, right. So you are watching, right. So you are expecting sellers to defend this area. If this is actual failed breakout of yesterday's high and Globex high here, you want sellers to respond here, right. Now why you think that way? Because of this momentum shift and the way price did not hold above this area and then came down straight to 76, right, and then it was balancing here, right, then it pushed higher, right. So at this point there are so many buyers who just bought it here, and on the way up they bought it here, ES and NQ, right. So there is too much pressure here despite this thing down here, right here, right, they bought it. Then price went higher, right. So by looking at this, more people bought it, right. But this is a poor location to buy it here at the breakout. The good location is here, and then put your stop loss here if you scale it here, right, move it up here. So then price came down. This down move here and here, these things confirm the suspicion that we had earlier that something is off, right. Now you are looking for short, you are ready to look for shorts, right. So which is this short, you can short right here at 376, 375, right, or because of this VWAP, since it was holding, it was dangerous to short here, right, even though it's a good level. So you wait for this thing to be taken out. The moment it taken out, see here, first time dip, immediately up, here balancing below it, right. So now you are ready to short here, which is lined up with ES around this area, right. So or somewhere around here. So still 46.10 is important, right. The moment, so ES you can't do anything because ES doesn't move that fast. You have to wait for NQ to trigger it. So NQ you can take a short at 340. I took a short at 340 340 right here, you know, and then I bailed out somewhere at 191 or 200 or somewhere, you know, and then I was just watching, you know, I did not even play entire this move. Yes, I did sim trading, you know, all these things. I was not expecting that much sell off today anyway. So because of this bias, I didn't want to be like shorting, you know, but at least I know that sellers are there, you know. So, and then I did little bit short here and there, somewhere here, you know, at key levels. So at here, you know, you just have to wait still. Yes, you can't do anything because above 46.10 buyers are there, right? So you can see a little dip, the little buy here, right? And then it just slides through it. But still you have to worry about this 87.96 area because that is the key area, right? So now if you look at this, price is exhausted there, straight down, right? So you can play a long here also. But now you have to look into NQ that it is selling off, right? So that's why it's a different arrow. Ideally, by looking at this, you don't want to buy it here. Most likely it will take out this area, but still it bounced. See, but now, so since it bounced, you can't do anything. You can go long, you can go short here, right? Even though 46.10 is a good short here, you have to wait until the price clears out this area, right? So then when this thing happened, right, and the momentum is still down, see that minus 1000, now you are ready to short. So the moment price pull back here, you're short, you know, right here, which is NQ is around, maybe I think around this area, you know, 237. Perfect combination, right? Because NQ is now below both this area. So this is the short here in NQ. So all you have to do is just matching, you know, and here, simple, right? By the time AD was also tanking, right? So good short, which is here, this area, right? And now you target what? Yesterday's low, pretty much, or gap fill, you know, and then bail out and then try again short if you want to. But by this point onwards, you do not want to attempt any long after this period, unless near the closing when price flushed out to 44, 45, 14 and 45, 45. I don't know how price is coming, it will decide the longs here or here, right? So since it's a closing, most likely since AD was tanking, momentum was down, price will go close at the lower end, right? So at the lower side here at 45.14, you can attempt a long, you know, but you have to hold it through overnight if you want to attempt the long here. That is the key here, you know. Then you can attempt, because at the closing it can go down, and in the overnight it can go back at least up to 45, 45 or 35, you know. So this was a short. This was a short because it was yesterday's low here, right? So these two shorts are there, and then in Q9 this 30 level, you know, so this is the real time level I gave you, right? So when I went long, man, the 30 was the level I gave you, right? So when I took a long at 960 right here, you know, my target was set as 30 and 56, right? So 30 I bailed out 75% position, and then 16,000 was my stop loss, moved up from 960, you know, so I got stopped out on that one, 25% position, still profitable. So this one 30 lining up with yesterday's low, you can short here also, you know, and then take profit at 15. That was the target. So that's how the day played out today, you know. There were a lot of opportunities today, you know. You just have to figure out, you know, just stick with levels, not figure out, but based on the levels will tell you, you know, when the direction is shifting like this, you know, early warnings. You have to just read through the early warnings and then wait for levels to be taken out, and then you can use that level to trade, you know. Same thing with NQ. We got a same early heads up right here, you know. So that's how the day ended today. So now rest of the stuff I will put it in the closing remark for the how to look the price for the next 2 days, you know, till noon from payroll. I'll see you tomorrow.